Hey everyone, it's your favorite language coach, Tequila Cheatham McCrae. I want to answer a question that I get often by my clients and students. How can I learn English fluently? Or how can I learn English fast, right? So, I have come up with 4 ways to learn English, and the only way this is going to work is if you actually put in the actions to do the work, right? So, here are my top 4 ways to learn English or any other language for that matter. This is how I learned Spanish, okay? So, top 4 reasons to learn English. Number 1, read. You have to read. If you don't read, how can you learn vocabulary, right? I know that some of you have been studying English for a long time now. So that means that you know some of the basics of English, right? You know some present tense, you know some past tense. So it's time to use what you know to create sentences, even if you make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes, right? We just have to read because we're not just reading for vocabulary, we're reading for comprehension. I want you to understand what you're reading. It's very important. So, when you read, you learn vocabulary and you learn comprehension. You learn to understand what you're reading, right? That's 2 things, 2 reasons why you should read. I know some of the words are going to be hard or sophisticated, but I'm going to get to that next. The second way to learn English fluently, or just to learn English, is to write. Write. So write down the words that you do not know, right? Write down the words that look weird. Write down the words that you've never seen before. Just write it, okay? Write it down on a piece of paper, okay? And after you do that, research the words. You have to know what those words mean in order to understand what you're reading, right? So, one of the things that I like to do when I'm practicing Spanish is that I like to read. You know, I try to read 1 paragraph of something in Spanish, and then I try to circle or underline the words that I don't know, and then I write it down and do research on it. It's a great way to learn vocabulary, and it's a great way to start learning to understand what the words mean. Does that make sense? Okay, so 1 reason to write down the words is because you want to research words you don't know, right? And another reason why is because you want to write a summary of what you think about the reading, okay? So I don't know, maybe you can write if you agree with the paragraph. Maybe you can write if you enjoyed it or not. Maybe you can write something that was interesting about what you read, right? Just write something. Write it in a paragraph or a summary on what you think, because it's going to help you with creating sentences. And don't be afraid to write longer sentences. Don't be afraid to do it. Write as much as you can because it's helping you with your brain and remembering what you already know. Okay, so far we have read, and the next thing we have is write. Okay, read and write so far. I know these are probably the most difficult of the 2. It's going to take the most practice because you will become familiar with the English language if you follow these steps. Okay, read, write, and the third one is listen, right? Listen to someone who speaks English. You can listen to my channel. You can listen to TED Talks. You can listen to some English audios that breaks down basic topics that you understand, okay? And the reason why you should listen is because it helps you with pronunciation, all right? It helps you to learn how the words sound and how to speak it, right? So that's two reasons why you should listen to something in English. It helps you with pronouncing the words correctly, and it helps you to listen for the correct pronunciation. All right? Are we okay so far? We're good? I know this is a lot to take in. So the first one was what? Read something in English, right? The second one is write. Write in English. Write sentences that you're familiar with. Write how you feel. Write what you think, okay, about the reading. The third one is listen. Listen to something in English. You can listen to an English audio. They give some really great speeches on TED Talk. You can just look it up, Google it, and it will show you a lot of presentations on there that will be very helpful. And it's some really interesting topics on there that I even watch. Okay, so listen to the words and how they pronounce the words. Sometimes it can be a little bit fast, but you have to train your ear to listen. It's not going to happen overnight, but if you keep practicing every day, I promise you, you will get results, okay? And the last one is to watch something in English. Watch something. So maybe you can watch something simple, such as a cartoon. You know, I know that most people think that cartoons are for children, but I actually happen to enjoy cartoons. So if you like cartoons, or even if you don't, just try to watch something, you know, that's in the child's version. If you watch something for children, it will use basic English, okay? It will use basic English, something that you understand, something that you can try to hear and try to repeat some of the words so that you can learn the language, okay? Does that make sense? All right. So the first thing we're going to do is what, guys? Watch. No, not watch. The first thing we're going to do is read, right? We're going to find something to read in English, something short. You don't have to overwhelm yourself. It can be something short, okay? It can be a paragraph. It can be in a short article. It can be a paragraph in a book, okay? You can even read a children's book. It will be very helpful for you, okay? The second thing is write. Write something in English. Write what you think. Write how you feel. If you can keep a journal, that will be awesome. You can write down your emotions and your thoughts, okay? So read, write, and then listen. Listen to something in English. It will help you to hear the words, to pronounce the words, right? And that way it can teach you how to enunciate the words. And you have to make sure you use your lips. Okay? All right. The last one is watch. Watch. So you're going to be watching something in English. It can be a children's cartoon. It can be something simple, something basic. You don't want to overwhelm yourself with a lot of vocabulary because you're not going to understand, and it's going to make you turn off the TV or turn off your phone or whatever you're watching, okay? Read, write, listen, watch. And then after, I know I said it was 4 ways to learn English. After all of those things, after you have practiced these things consistently, that means every day. You have to do it every day. There's no exceptions. Find a time to study. I know that study is like such an ugly word. So find a time to dedicate to learning English. You can choose 1 hour in your day. You can choose before you go to work, or you can choose on your lunch break, or you can even choose at night before you get ready to go to bed, okay? But you have to dedicate the time. You have to put the time in order for this to work. Okay, that's the only way. I can't do it for you. You have to do it. But after you finish those 4 steps is when you start speaking. Start speaking freely. You can try to do this on your own, you know, when you're reading aloud and you want to repeat something, you can do it then too. But I think that after you do these 4 steps, you can start to speak aloud. Okay? And we will talk about speaking in another video. But for now, try to master these steps. Try to master these 4 steps because it's going to help you. Okay? And if you have any questions, drop them below and I will be sure to answer. I will try my best. I promise. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel because we have so much more to talk about. All right? Peace.